nobody has anything against it, because after this meeting it will be available for others to see in a YouTube channel. So yeah, it finally looks like the situation is becoming better around the world, at least in Europe. So a lot of restrictions are coming down, so maybe we could this time try to share our experience about what's new in our cities, in our countries. So yeah, maybe I will give first for everyone to introduce themselves. So I'm Kaspars Varpiņš, I'm from Liepāja, from Latvia, and I'm the chairman of the UBC Safe Cities Commission. And this is already our meeting regarding this COVID pandemic and the situation around the Baltic Sea region in our cities. So I will then give floor to everybody based on the order which is on my participants list. So please, Evelyn.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Okay, my name is Evelyn Uibogand and I'm representing Tartu City government, and I'm working there as a crisis management coordinator. The situation in Estonia at the moment is that there is no state of emergency anymore. It ended by 17th of May, and at the moment we are in the middle of ending a different kind of restrictions. In May, there are still limits of people gathering, and only groups of 10 people are allowed at one time. From 1st of June, there is limit of 50 people inside one room and 100 persons outside at one time. And since 1st of July, their public events are allowed again, and the maximum number of participants could be 500 people inside and 1,000 outside. And one important thing what our government is declared is that inside public events are allowed if the room is crowded only half of the normal number, that you can that people are not that crowded in one time. In Tartu specifically, we still continue with distant learning and teaching. That means that only those pupils who are needed extra help are going to school. And most of pupils are still learning from home. Our kindergartens are open, and they have been open all the time. And half of the kindergarten kids are attending. That means that parents can still keep their kids at home. Half of the parents can keep their kids at home. Tartu City government is partly distant working till the end of May, and from 1st of June we are starting our normal working hours again. and the COVID situation in our country is that the infected rate is something 0.7 or 0.8% of all tests. So that medical council says that the situation is getting better all the time, and that is why all these I don't know what's the word in English, that we can start again with these public events and cinemas and theaters in the summer again. At the moment, we have had less than 2,000 infected people altogether, and some 65 deaths because of the coronavirus. I think that briefly it's all.
Thank you very much. Next is Torbjörn, please.
Okay, hello everybody, and thank you, Kaspers. I'm Torbjörn Lindström. I'm working for the Southwest Finland Emergency Services in Turku, Finland, and it's good that it was my turn now, because unfortunately I had to leave for another meeting directly after this. But the situation, overall situation in Finland is more or less like in all the other European countries as well. We are loosening up the restrictions, and in like step by step during May, June, and July in different places. But now the schools are more or less up and running, and also public events are allowed, not very big ones, but smaller, and also sports trainings and things like that is possible, and also restaurants and bars can open from the 1st of June. And in our rescue service, we still work from home, or all the people who has that possibility during the whole summer, more or less, so that everybody will be back in their own office from the 1st of August. So that's more or less the situation now. We have had only during this time in our organization, we have had only one person infected by the coronavirus. So we are at this time very lucky, because we didn't have much impact, and of course a few people's in quarantine, but not that much. So we didn't have any problems performing our fire and rescue service duties during this time. And let's see what will happen during the summer and in the autumn, if there will be a second or a third wave or whatever. But at this point it looks like quite good, the situation. Any questions? apparently not. Thank you very much, and thank you, Kaspers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your input. I understand that you have to run, yes?
Yeah, I have to go to the following meeting. It's starting in 10 minutes, and
okay.
I have to.
Only fast question for you as the vice chair. Do you think we should have another meeting regarding the COVID pandemic?
I'm not sure. Maybe not now, but could we have one in, or what's I don't know what the other people are thinking, but maybe we could have after the summer or something, because I don't think that much will happen now during vacation time.
Yeah, I'm thinking like that too. So yeah, we'll see what's the opinion for others at the end of the meeting, but then we'll let you everyone know about that.
Yeah, and
so,
then I think also that we should maybe plan for a real meeting in later on this year.
Yeah, we'll see about the restrictions for traveling, because at the moment it's still like you have to have to be in self-isolation for 12 days after, or 14 days after coming from abroad.
Yeah, and that we don't want to do that, of course.
Yeah, so we have to take months off to just have one meeting. Yeah,
that's kind of not so smart.
Yeah. Yeah, but of course we'll see after the possibilities. Then we'll organize a physical meeting too later on, as soon as it will be possible.
Who was in turn, by the way? Did
we? We didn't decide because for the planning, the virus came. It was the possibility for St. Petersburg at the end of this year, but still no reply, and we'll see about the possibility for that too.
That could be maybe a little bit difficult, I think. But
but we'll see when the situation comes better then.
Yep. But thank you very much, and good springtime and summer to everybody.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye. So next on the list is Panevėžys, please.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear us? Hello?
Yes, we do.
First of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to join the meeting, and we do hope that, the situation will soon improve, and of course we can meet each other, so to say, on a real meeting. Today we are actually 3 persons. It's me, Dalia Gurskene from Communication Department, and I also have 2 colleagues who are directly responsible for the management of this rather tough situation, you know. These 2 guys are from our Civil Security Department, and they have been working a lot all these months, and of course tackling different problems. The situation is really rather good at the moment, what concerns Lithuania, of course. Perhaps you have heard about this, the so-called friendship bubble. Now we can freely travel in Latvia and Estonia, and when we come back, we do not need any self-isolation. On the other point, we would like to say that the situation is changing rapidly, and tomorrow we shall have the meeting of our national government, and again, new measures will be taken. And we know that the quarantine, can be prolonged for June still, but it's mainly for legal purposes. Schools are just using distance learning at the moment, and they are finishing the school year on June 19. We are still continue working. Some people are distance working from homes, but most probably starting with June the 1st, we shall come back again to the offices. But step by step, of course, taking into consideration senior people, senior colleagues, and so on. What concerns cultural and sports events, the situation is also coming more flexible. We know that we can organize some public events inside for 50 people and 100 for 100 people outside, of course, keeping social distance as well. So that could be about it. We can say that we have been really rather lucky. I mean, Panevėžys city and Panevėžys region. We really had very little cases comparing with the overall Lithuanian situation. And now the rate of infectious disease is like 0.8. It's more or less similar to Estonia, I think. At present, we have 19 COVID cases in our region, but out of 16 out of them are already, so to say, healthy. So that's about the situation in our region and in our city.
Ačiū. Thank you very much. And now the floor to Rafał, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafał Nagórski and I'm working for Darłowo City local government. I'm the plenipotentiary of the mayor of the city, and I've got some information from whole country. Number of infected people in Poland from the beginning of this pandemic is 21,867 exactly. Number of deaths is over 1,000. But the situation in Poland is looks quite good. We've got no more large increase of incidents in Poland. Another part of the restrictions has been lifted since our last meeting. There are already kindergartens and grades of primary schools in Poland are open. Older students who are preparing for the exams may meet with teachers for consultations, but all the other students have to work from home. The restaurants and bars are already open, but there are some restrictions on the number of guests. There must be adequate distance between tables. And today or tomorrow, the government is to announce that from 1st June, gyms and fitness clubs will be open, of course, with restrictions. For example, showers will be closed, an obligation to disinfect equipment after each exercising will be introduced, and the limit of customers will apply in gyms. The government is to announce the lifting of restrictions on cultural institutions. Work is underway to open cinemas. There is no final decision yet, but if the government allows it, every second place will be occupied in the cinemas. From 1st June, weddings can be held, but up to a maximum of 50 people. We cannot organize any public events yet. We don't know when it will be. This restriction will be lifted. We've got no more gathering than 2 persons is allowed now. We have to keep 2 meters distance, and we have to use protective masks now, but the government also wants to abolish the obligation to wear face masks in the open air. We don't know yet, but probably from the 1st June we have haven't got to wear these masks. But it will be necessary in shops, offices, and public transport. The borders are still closed. It is said that at least some of them will be open from 15th June. So as you can see, we've got further and more, much more strong restrictions now than in any other countries. But I hope so that the situation will be normal very, very soon in Poland. We are, as a city of Darłowo, we are waiting for guidelines on how beaches and bathing areas should look like in the summer season. We still don't know that, but we are in talks with the Ministry of Development, and we try to get some information because the season will start very shortly. So I think it's all from Poland. Thank you very much.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję.
And now Toivo Riima, please.
The situation in Estonia is improving as well. From this week, our restaurants, cafes, bars are opened. Nightclubs are still closed. It was already mentioned that we can travel in Baltic states without staying after that separated. Situation is improving every day. Totally, we have 65 death cases, and maybe you have heard that our two islands, big islands, were completely locked down, closed. There was no traffic because there was a huge number of corona cases brought in by Italian volleyball team, it's an opinion, and maybe skiers from Alps. But at our office, we work on that way that there can be only one person in room, half are working in the office and half from home. Gatherings are allowed in the room up to 50 persons. And our association's board meeting will be organized next week after next, and that way that it's voluntary. It's possible to work from home and to participate physically, but of course the total number should be less than 50 persons, and of course we have to keep the social contacts 2+2. That's briefly.
Aitäh. So yeah, in Latvia and Liepaja, we still have the emergency state till June 9th. Yeah, we can gather people not more than 25 and still have to have the 2 meters distance between them. Yeah, and today, later on, we'll have a Civil Protection Commission meeting in our city about the possibility to sell the tickets for public transport, because now you couldn't buy them at the driver because of the virus, but now it will be possible maybe to buy them by the driver again, because everybody in the public transport has to be with the face masks. So yeah, The small children playgrounds are open. The two larger ones we have, they are still closed because of the gathering regulations. In school, schools are still closed. Only kindergartens are opened. But for the 9th and 12th grades, there are time for consultations, and then the exams will take place at the schools too for the 2 classes. Of course, with some restrictions, they have to have face masks below as well if they are dealing with paper, and they have to disinfect their hands as well. In our municipality, there are no more working from home. They are already all in the office. They don't have these groups which are working from home and the others from office now. Everyone is from office, but they don't still allow the visitors to come, and as well from the street or even from other institutions. So all the main meetings are taking place via Zoom. Yes, Estonian and Lithuanian colleagues said that the borders are open between Baltic states, so we still can travel. I was myself on Friday in Lithuania for an evening. There are not all border crossing points are open, only few of them, and on the border the Lithuanians were checking the temperature. And if there's a high temperature, then they have the right not to let the people in. As well, in the public places indoors in Lithuania, you have to wear face masks, not on the streets. In Latvia, you don't need to wear face masks in general, only in the public transportation now. And these days, the popularity for the driving activities has been taking place. So drive-in cinemas where you look the movie from the cars. There are not so many restrictions, only that you have to be in the car, you have to be alone or family members. So the friends, they just can't sit all in car, so they have to have separate cars then, and you can't walk out of the car at that point. And in our city, we had an interesting activity. 2 evenings on a week, we had the surprise concerts in the backyards of big apartment buildings. So the people didn't know that we are organizing the concert. That there will be the concert in their backyard. They knew that there will be somewhere, but then at some point they're just starting to play, and it's shared in Facebook Live as well. And usually there are not more than 25 people outdoors in that concerts, because we encourage everybody to watch from their apartments, through windows or in balconies. And at the end, we still had the right to close the concert earlier if they are not following the rules. So if there would be too many people and not having the distance between them. At first, the city cultural department, they wanted to have kind of posters staying a day before in the backyard where the concert will take place, but then we said no, it won't be possible, because if the if the people from the apartments, they know that they will have the concert, so you can count that all the city will know, because social media nowadays, it's really fast to share the information. So, but at the end, the concerts were really highly appreciated. A lot of people liked it. It did get the coverage around the whole country, because all the biggest news outlets, they had this positive coverage of these concerts, so everyone liked that, and then other cities are trying now to follow too. So in short, it's about Latvia. It's yeah. There are still no there are no plans to continue the emergency state in Latvia after 9th of June, but there will still, of course, be restrictions. So thank you for your attention, and maybe there are some questions to each other, please. If there are no questions, so what do you think about our next meeting? Should we have it at all, or like we were speaking with Torbjörn, that maybe after the summer we could have this kind of video meeting once more? What do you think about that? Please share your ideas.
I think after the summer is a good idea of the next meeting.
Okay, if there are no other comments, I suppose that you agree to that. So yes, thank you very much. I hope that these meetings did help a little bit for us to have maybe some new ideas, or to see that we are not only the ones who are in maybe bad situation, that everyone is in this kind of situation, and then everyone has this kind of restrictions, and we try to follow, and hopefully the situation will develop much better from now, and yeah, hopefully there won't be so big second wave. So thank you very much for the meeting, and if there are no other comments, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy your summer, and see you after the summer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.